Alright then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video on the channel. And it's one of my favourite times of the year, especially because it's the eve of the Formula One season. That's right, it's the Australian Grand Prix this weekend, and I couldn't be more excited to wake up at 5:30 o'clock in the morning because, hey, somehow it feels better the fact that I'm in Spain for this year, because it means theoretically extra hour of sleep, even though it's not, but it doesn't feel as bad as waking up at 4:30 in the morning for the Grand Prix normally. So hey, I can't wait, I'm blooming excited. Let's just hope everything goes to plan this season. But as we know, it's F1 and it won't. So today I just wanted to do a predictions episode on how I see both the Constructors and the Drivers Championship turning out. And I'm going to say there's probably definitely going to be a lot of wrong shouts. There's going to be a lot of interesting shouts. But most importantly, there's going to be a lot of disagreements with a lot of people. Now, back in the day, me and my friends tried to start a Formula One podcast. We released our predictions episode over on Spotify. And the podcast lasted a grand total of one episode, because everyone was very angry with my shouts. But hey, I still believe I did the best predictions. Not because of where the most correct or the most near on correct, but because some of my outrageous predictions were spot on. And one of them being my prediction of Lewis Hamilton the season after the greatest F1 season I've ever witnessed in my life. The Hamilton Verstappen season. Oh, incredible. Now let me quickly put that clip right here of the podcast episode, because that is hilarious.
I think he's wrong. But
well, you know what? I think I'm right, because I have put Lewis Hamilton at 6th. Everyone's gone deathly silent.
I mean, there's being out there, and then there's just being completely wrong.
Yeah, I know. That's you with Carlos Sainz. I've just gone perfectly safe.
No, that's you with Hamilton, mate.
Why?
Right. Okay. So you've heard that. You kind of get the gist of the way this is going to go. It's going to be a lot of outrageous shouts, and it's going to be a lot of the things that I would love to see. So I suppose normally you just start with drivers, just list off all the drivers. But hey, we're going to go constructors, which hopefully my maths. Let's be honest. The constructors is not going to be spot on, because I'm already looking at the predictions I've made, and I'm going, I don't understand the point scoring here. But hey, it's not the end of the world. Now, this season is especially exciting because a new team have entered the grid. They've joined the grid for the season and for the foreseeable future in Cadillac. This is the first time we've gone back to 11 cars on the grid. 11 teams on the grid, I should say. From, I believe, would have been 2016, around that time. And then they went down to 10, but now we're coming back up. We're back to 11. That means 2 more cars on the grid. That means a lot more excitement, and who knows. But anyway, speaking of Cadillac, my Constructors Championships predictions, I have put them 11th. Now, it is purely based on the fact that they are a brand new team. And over testing, the car looked okay. Didn't look good. It looked like it could score points. But you're not expecting much. I just think they need a solid season in which they don't crash an awful lot. So they're not spending a lot of money on repairs, as a lot of new teams and new drivers seem to experience. And I think they've done it smart. We're going with 2 experienced drivers in Valtteri Bottas and Sergio Perez. But hey, who knows? Now in 10th, we've got the team I hate the most on the grid, Alpine. I don't see them having another good season. I don't see them picking up any results. Don't see them picking up any podiums. Honestly, if I could have put them 11th, I would have put them 11th. And I know I could have, but I don't see Cadillac, unfortunately, doing better. So please prove me wrong, Cadillac. Every team on the grid, please prove me wrong. Because I just have a hatred of Alpine. And I don't know why. Do you know what? I reckon it's because I had a lot of friends who would always talk rubbish about McLaren and always say that Alpine will be better, we'll never reach the heights. And look at us now. current world champions. But hey, at 9, we've gone for a brand new team, even though it's not a new, it is a new team. We've gone for Audi, formerly known as State Kick F1 team, Alfa Romeo, Sauber. Oh, the list just goes on. But now they're Audi, and I'm thinking they're going to be 9th. They've kept the strange driver pairing from last season at Kick, where it was Borstedt and Hulkenberg, which were very good, very good driver lineup. I think Bortoletto is going to have an incredible season this year. He's had his rookie season, he's got it under the belt, and I just think he's going to improve massively. Now, at 8th, and hey, I've got a feeling they might be a bit lower based on just how we've seen testing going and what I've been seeing on Twitter, is Aston Martin. Now, it's looking like they might just retire the car in Australia because of the issues with the reliability and how bad the car is performing currently. Because they don't have the correct enough parts, or they don't have enough parts. Well, you know what I mean. I don't think you know what I mean. So they got the parts of the car, obviously, but I don't think they don't have enough spare parts. That's the word I was looking for. So I just see this season being another really bad year for Aston Martin. And as much as I'd like them to do well, not really. But I don't think they're going to get anywhere in that team if Lawrence Stroll stays. And it's not a case of he's an awful driver, because on his day, in the right conditions, in the right car, he is a very capable driver. But over the last couple of years, we've seen none of that. I still think the GOAT could take that seat, Latifi, but he's never going to come back to F1 anyway. But I just don't see them doing anything. And he's old, but I think that if there's a more capable driver alongside Alonso, they would both be in for a very good season, and so would Aston Martin. So I don't know, to be honest. I actually don't know. So, who is 7th, I hear you say? Gone for Haas. Haas, same driver lineup as last year. I just think they're going to be sort of a midfield car. They're just going to be there or thereabouts in the top 10 for most races. But I'm in my head, this might be a little prelude to the drivers, but I think it's going to be a one-man team in a sense. I think both drivers will pick up points, but I think one will pick up a lot more points than the other. Then 6th, we've gone Racing Bulls. I'm excited to see the team this year. I'm excited to see what Lindblad has to offer. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I've been watching him for years. I watch the odd F2 race when I can and when I realise it's on. But I'm just intrigued to see what will happen. Because he did say a couple of years ago to Lando Norris in the paddock, I can't remember what race, it might have been Paul Ricard in France. I couldn't tell you because it's just saying off the top of my head. He said to him something along the lines of, I'll be on the grid in 4 years with you. And it's 3 or 4 years later, and he was correct. And also, I'm excited to see Liam Lawson back. I think he is going to do well. I don't know how well. I do all my predictions, but I'm not telling you guys yet. So, I'm just trying not to waffle as much as normal. In 5th, I've gone for Williams. Initially, I had them a lot higher up. Well, I say a lot. But, hey, Sainz and Albon, they're reliable, they're solid, they're going to score a lot of points. Just hopefully, this season, compared to last, both drivers can start very well. Because obviously we saw Carlos Sainz having a bit of a rough time to start with Williams. But then he picked up towards the end of the season, backed himself a couple of podiums. And Albon's just always a solid point scorer. So you can't complain with that. Now at 4th, might it shock a lot of people? I don't know. 3rd and 4th are sort of, I don't know what to do. I don't know what way to put them around because it depends. Obviously, the start of the season, based on pre-season testing, 3 teams. And unfortunately, Red Bull aren't in those 3 teams. And I've put them in 4th. Now, normally, you think Verstappen's going to score a shed load of points. But with the way that the Mercedes, the Ferraris and the McLarens have been looking in testing over the last couple of weeks, it's going to be a hard team to beat. And I don't know if they're going to be able to do that this year. So Oh, goodness knows. But there is also very real chance that Red Bull finish in the top three, which that's what I had them down initially as. I had them in third, but then I sort of thought, you know what? I don't know. As much as I'd love them to finish above Mercedes, I just can't. I can't do it in my own head. So in third, I said them already. It's Mercedes. I think Russell and Antonelli are going to have a very good year. I don't know how many wins they're going to get though. I don't really know. Yeah, again, second and third are very interchangeable depending on how the drivers do. Obviously, it's a championship. It gets decided every race. You can't just sit down a couple of days before the Australian Grand Prix and go, this is how the whole season's going to go. Boom, that's it. Any point in watching this, any point in watching the season, because that's never going to be the case. But yeah, I've gone Mercedes in third. I believe Russell. I'm just repeating what I said a second ago. But Russell and Antonelli are going to have two very good seasons between them. I see a bunch of podiums. I see maybe a win for Antonelli. That'd be cool. I see maybe a win for Russell. I don't know. I just feel like there are three drivers, especially, who are going to get wins, and another one where it's going to be sharing them with Russell and Antonelli. So that means in second, I've gone for Ferrari. Now, I think Ferrari this year is going to be a one-man team. Oh, I've said it, because they were last year, in my mind. I think they're going to be the same again. But I think the car's going to be good enough where you'll be seeing one of the drivers picking up thirds and seconds on a consistent basis. As long as that car's reliable, because a lot of the Ferrari, the Red Bulls, the Mercedes, you're not really sure how reliable they can be. And in the past, they have been reliable, but they've also been a bit dodge. So that just leaves the best team on the grid in the world. The team half an hour from my house, it's McLaren. The best Formula One team, back-to-back World Constructors Champions. I think it's going to be a lot to take to beat them. And yet again, everyone's probably going to say Ferrari Constructors Championship winners. But as long as they set some ground rules this year, I enjoy the Papaya rules of just don't hit each other. I think that's a very sensible thing. Because realistically, you're going to tell two drivers to go, if they've got a chance to compete at a World Championship, oh no, you can't overtake, you can't battle it out. It just sort of ruins it. Whereas I love the Papaya rules. Just say, look, do whatever you want, just don't hit each other. That is a way to do it, and I think that's how it's going to end, really. I think McLaren are going to get that number one spot. So, now that we've done the predictions, let's just run it through again quickly. 11th Cadillac, 10th Alpine, 9th Audi, 8th Aston Martin, Haas in 7th, Racing Bulls in 6th, Williams in 5th, Red Bull in 4th, Mercedes in 3rd, Ferrari in 2nd, and Constructors Champions, McLaren, for a 3rd season running. So, now that that's all out of the way, guys, it's time to get on the drivers. Now, who's going to finish 22nd? It's a very, very tough decision. It's very hard to think, but I think it's Lance Stroll. Realistically, I think for once, every driver on the grid is going to pick up points this season. It hasn't been the case for the last couple of years. But hey, I just don't see Stroll doing anything. And I know I put Aston Martin in 8, but this is what I'm talking about. I don't know if I trust it. But yes, I've got Stroll in 22nd. I don't see him doing anything. I just don't. And then 21st, I've got Sergio Perez. And I know that's probably going to be a shock to a lot of people. And hey, don't get me wrong, he is a very, very, very solid driver. He's a capable midfield team driver. But hey, as soon as Australia happens, we'll see what Cadillac have to offer. We will see everything. But currently, I've just got a feeling that it's just going to be much of a nothingness. They're sort of going to be, I don't know, I can see their highest finish being 10th, between 8th and 10th on a race where everything goes their way. But otherwise, I just see them sort of being a 17th to 22nd sort of car. So I don't know. In 20th, we've got Esteban Ocon. Now, He's a good driver. He was good for Haas last year. I'm going to be honest, I just don't like the man. I like the man, I just don't like him when he's driving a car, because I think it's just another thing where it's sort of the last couple of years, I've grown to like him a lot more, but younger Harry would be screaming at me right now if I went, I love Ocon. I don't at all. But there's just something about him which I respect and I love, because he's just a very entertaining driver at times. So, with all that said, don't want to dig myself a grave, because there is actually no grave to be oh my goodness, grave to be dug. But yeah, I just don't see him beating his teammate. Obviously, I don't see him beating Behrman. But hey, prove me wrong, Esteban. Please, I invite you to prove me wrong, even though you're not going to see this. And then 19th, I've gone for the first of the two Alpine drivers. Got Franco Colapinto. Now, if last season's anything to go off of, he is not going to do well. But then you've got to remember that time at Williams, season 4, where he was just brilliant the moment he stepped into that car after replacing Logan Sargent. But I see him picking up points. I see him finishing in okay positions. I just don't see that Alpine being reliable enough for them to score maximum points. I see maybe every third or fourth weekend, maybe Gasly or Colapinto are just like sort of teetering on the edge, or maybe one might get a 9th, one might get a 10th. Who knows? Then in 18th, I've gone Valtteri Bottas. I've gone Valtteri Bottas for Cadillac. That is purely based on, if all these drivers below him don't score points, results basis, where they're finishing. Obviously, Ocon and Colapinto are going to score points. They're all going to score points, realistically. Again, it's the whole thing I was saying with Perez. It's the Cadillac. Is it going to be strong? I don't know. Now I'm sort of second guessing myself on if I should have put him this high up. Who cares? It's only a silly little predictions video. But yeah, also, I just quite like Valtteri Bottas. So that's why he's 18th. And then 17th, we've gone for Pierre Gasly, Colapinto's teammate. It's going to be interesting, and it's the same again as I said with Colapinto. I just see them both sort of interchanging points when they score it. Maybe Gasly, he is capable of getting maybe a P6 in that Alpine. Like I said earlier, I just don't. It's got to be a race where everything falls into luck. It's got to all fall into their laps for them to take advantage, because I don't see that Alpine doing anything. Yeah. And then 16th, we've gone for one of the best, one of the greats, the beast, Nico Hülkenberg. Yeah, so we've got Nico Hülkenberg in 16th. I think we're just going to see the same old Nico. He's going to be reliable in races. He's going to get that car home. It's probably going to be about 13th, 12th, 11th, maybe a couple points. There'll be some good points finishes, just some good points for the team. I'm going to be honest, I just don't know with the Audi. As much as obviously you'll go for the rest of the teams, you expect them to be a lot better. And the same goes with number 15, Gabriel Bortoleto. I've got them both 15th and 16th. I think Bortoleto is going to have a great season in that Audi. I don't think, it's not like a sort of great season where you're like top 5, top 6, top 7 finishes constantly. Prove me wrong, please, because I'd love to see both of them in those positions. I just see him building from last season, and I see him being a more regular point scorer. I see him getting points in a lot of races, and I know I'll put them 9th, but I don't think they're going to be huge points. I don't think they're going to be monstrous. I just want to. I believe there will be consistency, and he will be consistently in the points. So hey, now I believe, if I'm not wrong, the man in 14th, Bortoleto, is connected to. He is in his driver program. I actually don't know. I can't remember the specifics. It's Fernando Alonso, one of my favourite F1 drivers of all time. One of the first drivers I ever loved watching the sport. I see him in 14th, not because he's a bad driver now. It's just that Aston Martin is rubbish. It is rubbish. We need Alonso to get win 33. I want to see him win another World Championship. It's very late. Like, it won't happen. But he's not going to do anything in that Aston Martin, unfortunately. I can just see him by Jeddah on the team radio going, this car is a load of rubbish. What are we doing, guys? This is awful. And that is essentially Alonso's season highlights. Will just be him maybe getting 8th, 7th, 9th. And then just going, this car is rubbish. And him going like, I'm a genius, I'm a genie in this car, I'm amazing. So who knows? Now 13th, I've gone for the rookie on the block. I've gone for the new man at VCarb Racing Bulls. It's Arvind Lindblad. I don't know. I'm just excited. I think he'll do well. I have a lot of trust in that Racing Bulls, especially last year in the VCarb. After last year, where you saw Lawson and Hadjar doing very well in the car compared to that second seat at Red Bull. But I just see it being a reliable car, to be honest. And that's why I've gone Liam Lawson in 12th. Yeah, again, I just see him being obviously a more experienced driver. Last year was his first full season in F1. Granted, it wasn't at one team. Still can't believe Red Bull sacked him demoted him after 2 races. I think Lawson's going to have a lot to prove. Do I think he's going to finish incredibly high up? I don't know. Although, yeah, again, I feel like I could have swapped him around with the man in 11th. But hey, that's life. That is life. I can't change it now because I'm recording it. And I really don't want to start again because it's probably going to somehow be worse than this recording. So in 11th, we've got Ollie Behrman. I think he is going to do wonders in that Haas. I think he is going to score points in a lot of races this season. Who knows? Top 5 finish is easily on the cards for Behrman. He has shown he is a driver capable of that, especially in that Haas. Wasn't it Mexico last year he got top 5? Did he finish 4th? I think he finished 4th, 5th or 4th. Yeah. Yeah, let's just say he did. Because he definitely did in those positions. Could he get a podium? That wouldn't actually be a bad bet to put on, you know. It's a very silly and reckless and stupid bet. But hey, if it's like 50 to 1, you can just chuck a little fiver on it. Wouldn't be the worst amount of cash I would have seen arrive in my bank account. But am I a gambling man? Now, some people would say I am, some people would say I won't. Don't get me wrong, I like the cheeky bet. Do I bet a lot? No, because it's gambling at the end of the day. It's silly, there's no point doing it unless you're confident or you are confident in what you think or what you believe. Don't get me wrong, might put a cheeky bet on Cardiff versus AFC Wimbledon the other week in League One. And did that bet win? No. But did I cash out and win 30 out of the £60? I did, so you can't complain about that. Anyway, we're back on. We're still talking about Behrman. That was a little detour. That's not going to be the last one, I imagine. I just see Behrman, being Mr. Reliable in that team. I generally think he might step up, be the team leader, and who knows? After a great season this season coming up, could get that Ferrari drive if Hamilton leaves. Which, that's going to be another prediction of mine. I think Hamilton retires this year. And I think he needs to. As much as I think the man is a legend of the sport, he's one of the greatest drivers of all time. I think he's just a bit past it now, to be honest. And a lot of it is probably the car, but I also just feel like his self-belief and determination, desire is sort of dwindling because he hasn't been given a sort of good enough car. And yet again, we're talking about Hamilton when we're meant to be talking about Behrman. What am I doing, guys? Honestly. In 10th, Red Bull's new man, Isaac Hadjar. There we go. That's how to quickly go for that track. I think Hadjar's going to have a very good season at Red Bull. But yeah, again, it's the Red Bull number 2 seat. And that's why he's not higher in this list, to be honest. Because I love Hadjar. I think he's going to do great. I really hope he doesn't get demoted this year. Because they love to do that at Red Bull. If you're underperforming, you're gone back to VCarb. But I think Hadjar's going to do well. He's going to definitely get a podium. I love it if he wins a race. Who knows? Who knows, guys? The 9th, the man that we were just waffling about earlier, Lewis Hamilton. He's just going to be there, to be honest. I don't see him in the top 5. Don't see him in the top 8. See him 9th. I see him bagging some good performances. Do I see a podium? No. Do I see a P5? Yes. Do I see a P4? Possibly. I just think he's going to be solid, to be honest. And this is where I look at this list and I know what you guys are thinking. Harry, you haven't said any of the Williams, but you put Williams to finish 5th in the Constructors. What's going on? What's going on? I know, I'd agree with you. Seems a bit silly. I know. Who am I talking to? No one. But, hey, in 8th, I think is Mr. Alex Albon. He is a very solid driver. I just see him scoring enough consistent points. I see that Williams hopefully being very good. I know they've had some issues going into the start of this season, which is now that I'm remembering about this, making me really regret this decision to put them so high up. Because obviously they missed, was it Barcelona or Bahrain? They missed the first day. I think it was Bahrain. Oh gosh, I should have really done a little bit more. I should have had some notes with me as well, instead of just the predictions. This is not a good idea. I am recording this very late at night, if you can't tell. But yes, they weren't able to run. But I still see that Williams being very reliable because as many F1 fans know, they put a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of their research, just everything was prioritised on the 2026 car. And their car last year was good without doing as much time investment into the car. Whereas I think this year, hey, they might start off a bit rocky in the first couple of races, but hey, I see both of them finishing between 7th and 5th. That might be a really mental statement. Hey, I'm going to clip that every single time we do an F1 video and they do one where I told you guys, told you before the season even started. Williams, hot shots, come on. So yes, that same goes to Carlos Sainz. I put him in 7th place. I see it now. He's got his whole full season under his belt at Williams, and that season finished superbly for me. I think he just takes that form into this season and carries on with his head high. I think it's going to be brilliant. Yeah. Then in 6th, we've gone for the first of the 2 Mercedes, obviously. I have gone for Kimi Antonelli. Is there anything else I really need to say? I think he's going to do superbly. He's going to get some podiums. He's hopefully going to get a win. He's going to be reliable. I don't think he's going to DNF as much as he did last season, whether that was from car troubles or crashing. So yeah, I just see him doing very well. Same goes with the man in 5th, George Russell. I see him winning 2-3 Grand Prix this season. I see him being solid. The thing is, there's not much to really delve in here. This is why these prediction videos would be so much better with someone here to debate this with and talk through. Because then it's actually, you sort of start delving deeper into the facts. And that's the one issue of being out here in Spain. All the F1 boys are back home. They're all back home. We could be sat here debating it all, but instead, I'm sat in lovely Valencia, and it's midnight, we're chatting about F1, making sure this video goes out on time, and we're sort of on our ones. Little one-man step on the F1 predictions, but hey, it's not the end of the world. So yeah, George Russell in 5th. I just think he's going to have another very good, solid season, which will hopefully keep him in that Mercedes seat. I would generally be shocked if Mercedes change their driver lineup after this season. I think they should just stick with Russell and Antonelli because it's going to work. They've just got to trust the process. So, in 4th. It's crazy, but it might just happen. To be fair, 3rd and 4th again. These are like really tough choices on my mind. Like tough decisions when I was writing out my predictions. But I'm going to be honest, it's the reliability to win races. It's the belief that I have that this man would win more races than the other driver on that I've got on here. And I just don't think he does that. I put Charles Leclerc, and I know I've said Ferrari finished 2nd, but that is because I think Leclerc is going to be very, very good at getting those podiums. As I was saying earlier in the Constructors, I think he's going to get 2nds, he's going to get 3rds, he might get the odd race win. Same with Russell and hopefully Antonelli, like I was saying a second ago. I just don't see him yet being world champion. Don't get me wrong, in a couple of years, yes. I just don't know if I could sit down right now and say he's going to be world champion, he's going to be in the top three. Because I would be laughing at myself watching this back in editing. Because there is the man ahead of him, which is an F1 world champion. He's proven he can win races. He's proven that he's reliable. He's proven that he could be one of the greats. You can tell I'm trying to keep this like really ambiguous. But it's one of the greatest drivers to ever do it, in my mind. It's Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen is third. So that means it's going to be another McLaren 1-2. Oh, who would have seen that coming? The McLaren fan picks the McLarens to do the best. Hey, let me have my bias, okay? Let me have my bias. We finally got a good car. I'm loving every second of this because I'm fully prepared for everything to go back to how it was before and me to be depressed watching F1. But yes, I just see Verstappen doing well. The Red Bull isn't as fast as the Mercedes, the Ferrari and the McLarens right now. And I just see him same as last season, maybe not in as much of a title fight as he was last year towards the end, because I believe Norris and Piastri's reliability and racecraft has improved a lot. I know it was already very good, but I don't see them making as many mistakes, as many crashes, as many DNFs. But yeah, I just see Verstappen winning races, I see him getting podiums, I see him being consistent, but then I just don't think he's going to be as good as he was last season. And that wasn't even his best season. But I just don't see it going down to the wire like it did last year. I just see him narrowly beating Leclerc. Yeah, I see him probably being about 30 points ahead of Leclerc at the end of the season. But hey, who knows? This top four, maybe even top five, could drastically change. Russell could win the championship for I know. I know he's probably championship favourite, isn't he? And I put him in fifth. But that is because I just think McLaren are going to do it again. And it pains me so much to say that I've got in second. Because he is my favourite driver on the grid. I've supported him since he came into sport. He's been my favourite. I've always been a McLaren fan. And my favourite drivers will be the drivers in the team at that time. But this driver has a very special place for me because I've watched his entire career at McLaren. I've loved every second of it. And he is the current world champion. He's got that number one car he's got that number one on his car this season for the entire year. It's Lando Norris. Unfortunately, I don't see him winning back-to-backs as much as I think he will, which I know I've just completely contradicted myself in the space of a sentence, but I just see Oscar Piastri coming back with vengeance this season. I see him actually. I don't think he's not going to be as error prone. I don't think he's going to fall off in the second half of the season like he has done historically. I just see him being an absolute beast. And hey, it's going to come down to the more reliable driver out of the two. And I know I said, oh yeah, they're going to be very reliable, but it's F1 at the end of the day. I just say what's on my mind, and then I immediately say the other thing, and it's very stupid. But yes, I see Norris in second. I still think he wins 6. I'm not going to say 7. 6 to 8 races. There we go. Because, God, that 6-7 meme really annoys me. It burns me to my bones. But yes, again, Piastri. And obviously world champion Oscar Piastri. I'd love for him to be a world champion with McLaren. My whole thing last year was I'm happy with either one of those two drivers winning the world championship, but my preference would always be to Norris, as I just wanted him to win it first. And now I don't care who wins it this season. I want Norris to win more world championships, but I think this year could be Piastri's, which I know a lot of people are going to disagree with, but I just see Piastri winning a lot of it. I don't see Piastri DNFing this year, which I know is a crazy statement to make. I just see him being in... I can see his lowest finishing position being 5th this year, and that might only happen once or twice. I generally see him on that podium every weekend. which is scary how good he's going to be. But yeah, hey, you know what? I'm going to stop it there because I've probably waffled too much already, and I'm just getting excited. I'm getting excited for the F1 season. Can't wait. Friday, I'm going to be honest, it's Australia. I'm not going to be watching the practice. I'll wake up for quali and obviously wake up for the race. And I was thinking, hey, if people are up for it, I know nobody's going to watch. I'm debating doing a watch along, you know. I've been dabbling with the ideas of watch alongs for a while, for rugby matches, for Harlequins matches, for football matches in Liverpool, Elche, Leeds, Cardiff. I don't know any of the teams I like. Maybe an Aldershot Town. Who knows? Or F1 races, for example. I think that'd be really cool. I'd really love to do a lot more F1 content. And now that the season's starting up again, I can. And it would mean there'll be a lot more posts on this channel. There's going to be 2 this week, which is wicked. We've obviously got this predictions video, and we have a match day vlog, another football match day vlog, which I've been meaning to post for ages, but, well, not for ages. Obviously, recorded it Sunday, and it'll probably be out Saturday, because the plan was to release it Thursday, but obviously this is going to go out on Thursday instead. So, hey, you win some, you lose some, but it means it's a double upload week, and there could be a watch along. There could be a watch along if I'm awake. I will be awake. It's just if I am able to not make myself ready, but like, you know, sort of wake up and not be sat there as a zombie with the camera on me for like almost 2 hours at 5:30 in the morning. So yeah, what do you guys think? Oh wait, no one's watching because it's very early in the morning on a Sunday. It means, am I going out Saturday night? Oh no, it's going to be a very interesting Harry, because obviously we've got the Six Nations on Saturday and England are playing. So it means you could have a very, 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 very different person on that live stream. But who knows, it's just an idea. I hope you guys all enjoyed the video today. It was a very fun one to make. This has been predictions that I've generally been doing these predictions. I've been making this predictions list. I created this notes page on the 8th of January. And now it's obviously the 5th of March when this video is going out. There's been a lot of thoughts in my head about it. But hey, this is the final list. That's what I'm sticking with. And no, it just means the end of season review is going to be even funnier to look back on. But I hope you enjoyed the video. As I said, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think the most outrageous take is down below. If you agree with any of the takes, what your guys' thoughts about the season are going to be and predictions, or even how things are going to pan out, really. But yes, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.